zero for negotiations on your third stimulus package. Those exact words of Ron Wyden in a shocking interview where he says, who cares what's in the third stimulus package? We're going to negotiate stuff. This is how the Senate works. President Biden should know this. When a bill lands in the Senate, we're going to negotiate it. And we're going to negotiate the hell out of FPUC. FPUC is going to get negotiated, and I'm holding firm at $600 a week of FPUC. And guess what? I'm not going to do this FPUC expiring in a few months. I'm not going to keep on doing stimulus packages every few weeks. We're going to tie it to economic conditions. Sound familiar? That's what VP Harris said. And he says, Ron Wyden, if economic conditions don't improve, we're not going to expire FPUC. We're going to keep it going. And he does not exclude FPUC retro. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. These are big firing words. And I told you that everything could land differently when the bill arrives in the Senate on February 22nd. Good afternoon, and live from Los Angeles, this is Home LLA, your lighthearted midday report on everything financial and also stimulus, from Wall Street to Main Street, from my home to your home. Thank you for joining me on Home LA, and we have incredible great news across the board today. First, about stimulus. Second, about the deal provisions. Third, about what Wall Street's reacting to the situation. Next, about other stimulus packages. Oh, yes, I got that as well. Then we have questions about the climate. How's that climate doing outside today? Well, we have more details about the climate. And then we have all your incredible 2,000 questions and comments. Well, not all 2,000 of them. Some of your 2,000 questions and comments from yesterday's recording. Boy, we got some great stuff going on today. I'm really excited you joined me because guess what? I know there has been that thing that they're doing in the Senate this week, and it's been on broadcast news 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And I know it's sort of distractive. It's sort of like a professional sport playoff game that goes on forever. Well, the good news was that when we started the day, when I was supposed to record for Mornings LA and I could not, I had actually printed out a breaking news report at the time on Mornings LA that they were supposed to call witnesses for the impeachment hearing. Thank you, Richard, for the dancing bear. They were supposed to call witnesses for the impeachment hearing, and if you could see my reaction off camera, it was like this. I was like, please no. Can we get that thing done? Can we get that impeachment hearing done? Because I know its impact on everything, including you. It's taking stimulus off a front page. It's taking the coronavirus relief package off a front page, and everything that you and this nation should be focusing on has not been front page for the last 7 days. And guess what? It's going to be done. The timing could not be perfect. If only my jaw is good by then, let's cross our fingers. But around February 22nd, when the bill lands in the Senate, guess what? Impeachment will be done. The bill will be in the Senate. The new LA Late is going to be arriving to broadcast to you, and you better be ready for this new LA Late, boy. I got a new hairstyle for it, so I'm excited for you. Everything is going to be arriving at the exact same time because the next 2 weeks are just going to be, they're going to be like $12 ice cream on sale. They're just going to be delicious. It's going to be like Calcino 2 for 1 on Taco Night. It's just going to be delicious. So with that, thank you for joining me on Home LA, live from Los Angeles shortly after about 12:15. Oh, I missed that. I looked to the left and I missed that. What was that? Oh, it's Aaron. Hey, Aaron. Oh, it's a dancing person. Yippee. Well, I appreciate that, Aaron. Thank you for the massive super chat. Welcome to LLA. If you've not subscribed, please subscribe. Thank you for the new subscribers yesterday. Make sure you subscribe. Understand that I'm here to help you. I'm here to help you around the clock, 24 hours and 7 days a week. This is the most helpful channel there is. Hey, thank you, Donna, for the wonderful. What is she doing? She's doing like this. It's like Princess Leia, but there's like hearts coming out of her ear. Delicious. Thank you so much. And if you not consider becoming a member, consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Calcino VIP. Thank you for the incredible new members yesterday and the new Calcino VIPs as well. The link is at the top of the chat, and also in the description. Let's get to Ron Wyden, my new favorite person. I think he's your new favorite person as well. So Ron Wyden has been talking about this $600 a week FPUC for a while. And you need to get him to keep on talking about it. You need to get your fingers and ready to tweet him and support him and call his office, say, God bless you, and please keep on pushing. Please do what you promised to do because you're doing a great job. This is his exact comments. I'm going to push hard for what's needed to get to people through a very difficult circumstance. The president served in the Senate, and he knows all these issues are up for negotiation. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That's the type of talk we want to hear. That he's basically saying when the bill lands in the Senate, everything's up for negotiations. The stimulus check is up for negotiations. The FPUC is up for negotiations. The hazard pay is up for negotiations. The EIDL is up for negotiations. Oh, boy. Send prayers for Sandy's husband. What happened? I don't have any updates. Can someone tell me what happened with Sandy's husband? So this is huge. Ron Wyden is saying exactly what I want him to say. That it's not just FPUC, it's everything else. Everything else that is up for negotiations. Why $600 of FPUC? Ron Wyden is continually citing the new jobless data. Well, amen for that. The new jobless data shows that 1.4 million people continue to file for unemployment week after week. You heard me say on I think it was on Friday, new continued unemployment numbers, 21 million people on continued unemployment. We were at 796 new jobless claims last Thursday, worse than Wall Street expected, only 6,000 new jobs created in the month of January. The unemployment numbers are bad. They were bad when Mr. Wyden, when Senator Wyden talked, and they're bad since he's talked. We're going to pull out all the stops to get it passed. This is him talking again. My starting point here is going to be my legislation that would reinstate the full $600 and tie additional weeks of benefits and the programs for gig workers to economic conditions. Oh my goodness. That's huge. That's exactly what I have been asking for ages. The last time we saw that, saw it in a bill format, other than me talking about it, was when Harris and Sanders wrote it. Remember, Harris and Sanders said stimulus checks until the economy improves, until unemployment goes down, or the pandemic stops. He's saying basically the same thing. He's going to tie it to numbers. Why? There's so much work to do, and the Senate can't be revisiting economic relief every 2 to 3 months. Oh my God, the stimulus gods have opened up and brought us this wonderful human being. This is huge. What did I say yesterday, or was it the day before? I said, why is President Biden putting FPUC to expire on August 30th? If you've been with me since April of last year, you know what happened in July of last year. If you've been on social media, on Twitter, and retweeting the Purple Power tweets on social media, you saw my tweets a few days ago to President Biden and VP Harris, where she appeared on MSNBC in July of last year saying, how can you let FPUC expire in July? Well, guess what? The legislation of the $1.9 trillion stimulus package expires in August. And guess what they're doing in August? They're going on vacation. They're setting us up for expiration again. This is huge. This is absolutely incredibly great news. Let's recap at the 9-minute mark what he said. He's first saying FPUC should be $600 a week. Then he's saying, I'm not going to let it. Why should it expire? We shouldn't be letting it expire. It should be tied to economic numbers. If economic numbers aren't improving, why do you have to keep on calling me back into Senate sessions every 10 seconds? Just tie it to something like unemployment. If unemployment doesn't improve, FPUC doesn't go away. I love this. And then finally he says, the Senate is a place where we negotiate. You don't shove a bill down our throat. Oh boy. So now let's go to the stimulus check. Bernie Sanders, are you watching, Bernie? I had one viewer who back in the day was tied to Bernie and would send me private messages. Mr. Sanders, are you watching? Stand up and fight for those stimulus checks that we are owed. The stimulus package is landing in the Senate on August, excuse me. I almost said it's going to land on the Senate on August 22nd. I know this because I think I made someone short of breath there right there. February 22nd. I'm sorry. February 22nd. When the bill lands in the Senate on February 22nd, the stimulus checks will be $1,400 an individual, $2,800 a married couple, $1,400 a child, $1,400 adult dependents. Senator Sanders, Senator Hawley, Senator Warren, please stand up. Please stand up because we were promised $2,000 this year as a new stimulus check. Senator Ossoff, Senator Warnock, you ran on that platform, $2,000 this year on top of the $1,400 fixed stimulus check for last year. $1,400 is Trump's stimulus check. $2,000 was supposed to be Biden's stimulus check. You ran on that platform. Give us what you offered, what you said we were going to get. Don't let us sit back and let the House not take care of it. Do what is supposed to be done. Take this video, if you're watching this video and you're a follower of this channel, tag Sanders, Hawley, I know, but you still tag him. Tag Sanders, Hawley, and get it loud and clear. $2,000 plus $1,400 stimulus check. Then the next message, $3,200 for adult dependents. $3,200 for adult dependents. Tag them as well. And then next, Ron Wyden for the $600 of FPUC. Now, Brian Deasy, who's the chair of the National Economic Council, said that the Reuters said that the Biden administration tends to work on sets of ideas that the Democrats and Republicans can support. Well, make sure that all the senators that are in the Democratic Party support the provisions of the 1.9. Because guess what? A new report that really ignited Ron Wyden, who of course is from Oregon, was a new report from Yale University, found that $600 of FPUC did not cause people to stay at home and not return back to work. It did none of the sort. There is no indication. The new report actually confirmed the opposite. Remember, if you have been a viewer of this channel since last year, Republicans were claiming you give FPUC too much, people will stay home and not return back to work. We now have a report that confirms the opposite. That, in fact, that's not true. In fact, people want to return back to work if they have a job. In fact, people love returning back to work, and that the $600 of FPUC was not a disincentive for returning back to work. Then this other breaking development. Wow, with 14 minutes on the clock, 1,000 people in the room and 300 likes. Wow, let's get to 2,000 people in the room and 1,000 likes. If you've not liked this video, make sure you like this video. Let me give you a big update where we are before I continue at the 15-minute mark of this video. This video might be a little bit longer. The big news is that Ron Wyden, who is a Democrat in the Senate, has come out loud and clear about three big issues which are absolutely incredible for you. One, he says that the Senate is a playing field to negotiate on bills, and no one should think otherwise, and specifically referred to President Biden, saying President Biden served in the Senate, and he knows if a bill lands in the Senate, it's ripe for negotiations. And those negotiations include $600 of FPUC, which Ron Wyden wants first. Two, he wants it not to expire in August. He wants it to be tied to economic conditions because he doesn't want people to keep on coming back to Congress every 10 seconds for a new stimulus package. He wants this done correctly this time. Three, the bill would not expire in August, which potentially is another vacation for senatorial leaders. And four, he says that other deal provisions can be ripe for negotiations. This is huge. This is the language you wanted. This means the stimulus check. This means SSI and SSDI. This means the business grants. The stimulus checks amounts are wrong. It should be $1,400 plus $2,000. It should be $3,200 for adult dependents. The EIDL is wrong. It should be $10,000 of EIDL. Marco Rubio, Ted Cruz, the senator out of Arizona, Cardin, all believe that they want to give you $10,000 of EIDL. Get behind them and get them on your tweets because they would support modifying the EIDL. Republicans want to give more business grants. They don't want to give less business grants. The business grants in this third stimulus package are too small. The stimulus checks, which are more Democratic, are too small. And finally, the unemployment is too small. But a new report today says that Joe Biden may be back with the reconciliation process again. When? The report claims that the Democrats are considering using the reconciliation process 2 more times. One for climate and another for infrastructure. Now, this is not particularly promising news for you because Nancy Pelosi says that this is the relief package and that the next package will be the recovery package. Well, you would hope that the reconciliation is used for that as well. Why are they using reconciliation for infrastructure and climate? Now, there's no limit on how many times you can do reconciliation in the first year, but that's a big question. Then a new report coming out today says that there's a concern about where the money's coming from. A new report out from Politico just minutes ago, this Saturday morning, indicates there's a concern among Democrats, not just Republicans, but Democrats, that they don't know where this money's coming from to pay for this, pay for these items. And the concern is that the money may be coming from cutting Social Security. Another ageist issue we got to deal with on this channel. I don't know whether to be concerned or not, says House Budget Chairman John Yarmouth, Democrat out of Kentucky. I've been told not to be concerned. He's been told to zip it. Matthew Dickerson, a director at the Conservative Heritage Foundation, said Republicans could offer their support in preventing the reductions in exchange for reducing the national debt. It's a useful leveraging point for Republicans. We can't keep on spending at the rate we're spending. But these, then Weasel said, but these are extraordinary times and you can't be sure that Republicans go along with this. I think there's a small but significant risk that Republicans will use this as leverage to get something from the Democrats. What am I referring to? A new report basically says that the budget of using the reconciliation process is being paid by cutting other things. And what the Biden administration is not explaining is what is being cut, and the things that are being cut are not exciting to Democrats. Democrats are worried that the things being cut may not get back in, and that when they try to get the things back in that are being cut, the Republicans may not let them get back in, including Social Security cuts. These are just a consistent scenario of confusion. Multiple stimulus checks are coming to you on the third stimulus package. That's really great news. What happened to that $800 billion of unused PPP that was sitting around, says Lorraine? It's still sitting there. It can be done by executive order. It can be done by executive order. There is $800 billion of unused PPP still sitting around Treasury. $5,000 stimulus checks being sent out. Multiple stimulus checks are great under the third stimulus package. Multiple stimulus checks of $3,600 are great under the third stimulus package. Who is going to get the $3,600 multiple stimulus checks on top of $1,400? 2-year-olds. Yeah, I'm not joking. If your neighbor has a 2-year-old next door and you're 55 years old and you've worked, 30 years of your life, you're gonna get a $1,400 stimulus check. That 2-year-old's gonna get $1,400 and $3,600. Sound fair? Of course it's not fair. Of course it's not fair. What the third stimulus package has in there is a prepaid stimulus check to cover what would normally be called a child tax credit for next year. Let me explain this, even though I explained it before. It is strange and it doesn't make sense. When you file a tax return, you can use things that are called tax credits. There are 3 tax credits that are currently on the books. They are earned income tax credit, child tax credit, child care tax credit. All 3 are currently on the books, along with other tax credits, but this is not a tax channel. Well, the Biden administration proposes to amend 3 of them, change 3 of them. And by changing all 3 of them, Biden proposes to increase the amount. That's good. Or increase the eligibility. That's great. So when would you get the benefit of the 3 tax credits? Well, 2 of them, he's saying you'll get the benefit of it next year when you file a tax return. But 1 of them, I'm going to give you the benefit of it now. Why? That again sounds ageist. Why are we giving credits to certain people now as an advance a year early before the tax year even occurs, while other older people have to wait to get their tax credit in the mail? How does this work? Earned income tax credit. If you worked during the pandemic this year and made less than $25,000, you'll get a $1,500 earned income tax credit. Well, that's wonderful. That's $1,500 on top of $1,400. That's great. That's $2,900 in stimulus checks for an individual who makes less than $25,000, works at a grocery store. That's really helpful money. When is that person going to get the $1,500 earned income tax credit? Next year, in March, April, when they file the tax return. No, they need the check now. Well, when is the child tax credit going to be paid? Starting in July to 2-year-olds. Wait a second. So 2-year-olds get their check now, and adults that are working in grocery store have to wait till next year? Yeah. Congratulations. Ageist? Absolutely. Absolutely. It doesn't make any sense. Why are 2-year-olds getting their checks almost a year earlier? How does this work? So the child who is 6 years or younger, $3,600, of course, going to the parent. And if the child is 17 or to 6, 17 to 7, they'll get $3,000. That's per child. So if you have multiple children, 3 children under age 10, you're going to get $9,000. Prepaid starting the month of July, a little bit per month. So let's do the math. Let's say you just have 1 child, $3,600, 2-year-old, you'll get $300 a month in July, $300 a month of August. Starting the month of July, $300 a month for 1 year to $3,600. It's wonderful. It's a great idea. It's a bizarre idea to get money prepaid from the IRS, but it's a great idea. But why are the other people that are getting similar types of relief, the $1,500 for earned income tax credit, why are they having to wait till next year? Unfair. I see the comments on the screen. Unfair. If you think it's unfair, say on the screen, unfair. I think it's hideously unfair. I think everyone should get the relief. I think everyone should get the relief. And it's absolutely unfair. It doesn't make any sense. I'm not taking anything away from the children. I think the children should get it as well. But I think the adults should get it as well. Now, here is another rub. Here's another comparison. If you missed evening's check yesterday, I went in pretty deep on this, and you may have missed that show. So let me give you a highlight of the other things that are happening in the third stimulus package that are consistent upon this ageist policy of the Biden administration. Children under the first stimulus package of March 2020 got a smaller stimulus check than adults. Make sense? Of course it makes sense. They're children. Children got a smaller stimulus check under the first stimulus package than adults. I think it was $500. Adults got $1,200. This stimulus package, children are apparently going to get $1,400. The same stimulus check, a 2-year-old will get a $1,400 stimulus check, whereas a 50-year-old who has, water and gas bills and car payments and electric and gas and roof repairs has to pay, is getting $1,400. Getting the same as a 2-year-old who, what is the expenses? What expenses does a 2-year-old have? Now the parent has expenses, understand that, but a 2-year-old is getting the same stimulus check as a 50-year-old. That doesn't make sense. And let's add more lighter fluid to this fire. Adult dependents, who are people who appear on someone else's tax return and are generally of advanced age. They're generally people in their 60s or 70s that appear on their daughter or son's tax return. Their daughter or son may be in their 40s or 50s, and they just have their parents on their tax return. It's just easier accounting. They did not get a first stimulus check. They did not get the $1,200. They did not get the $600 because they were excluded. It was a mistake, said Congress, a mistake. And they're supposed to get $3,200 for adult stimulus check now. Guess what? Again, the same house is not giving them the $3,200 stimulus check. So again, people of advanced age are not getting that adult stimulus check. Do you see how many occurrences of ageism are in this third stimulus package? It starts with the child tax credit only for the children and not for the earned income tax credit. It continues to the stimulus check being the same for very young babies as adults. And then it continues to not paying adult dependents their stimulus check that is past due from the first and second stimulus packages that was promised to them under the Cash Act. And we sort of see this path. And I know you're going to say, how about SSI and SSDI? That's sort of the final ammunition on top of it. When we talk about SSI and SSDI, there's so many parts to that don't make sense. First of all, Pete DeFazio, the wonderful Democrat House member from the Northwest, said in the fall of 2020 that people who are seniors are dealing with cost of items at the market going through the roof during the pandemic. Milk and eggs are going up. And he said that they should be tied to a higher, better benefit than COLA. It should be CPIE, meaning that when milk and eggs go up, you get more benefit checks each year. That's what Biden promised. Hasn't come through. Silence. So in essence, the amount of monthly benefits you're receiving if you're on SSI or SSDI are worth less because there's been a form of slow inflation or price escalation, price escalation, that's in the economy. And so the bottom line of this last 3 minutes of this recording with 1,500 people in the room with 600 like is I love lots of stimulus. I like more stimulus than this administration, apparently. But I also like stimulus that is appropriate for all ages. And I don't like when I see one age group really getting the shaft. I mean, they're getting the shaft. People who are older are getting the shaft. And people that are very young are getting, are being potentially overcompensated. And I did not even add to this that Cory Booker not this Friday, the week before, introduced the baby bond, where $1,000 is put in a bank for a baby that's born tomorrow. Now, the concept is great. The idea is wonderful. But again, the issue is, why are we spending money on people who have not yet been born or about to be born, than when there are people who are on this planet who have served this country, served in armed forces, or worked, in the grocery store for 40 years of their lives and try to put food on the table for the kids, and you're not giving them the $1,000? How about you put $1,000 in a bank account for a 40-year-old and let it mature for 10 years? How about doing that? What's that concept? I hear a lot of conversations, a lot of press releases from Nancy Pelosi and President Biden about lifting children out of the poverty level. How about we lift everyone out of the poverty level? How about we lift everyone out of the poverty level? When do we just become a society where we're looking out for little babies? How about we look out for everyone? And that's sort of the message. I don't want to be negative. I want to be tough. Being tough is different than being negative. And being informed and educated. In this video, in the last 4 minutes, I showed you 4 or 5 cases in which they're not being consistent for different ages. And that's not being negative, that's being informative. I want to show you how this is an example, this is an example, and this example, so that ultimately you are empowered with that information so that you can push as well. Let me answer some of your 2,000 questions or comments from yesterday's recording. Wendy, now if you just get on it, Social Security. John, this is discrimination to single people. Not having children has gone against us. There is that issue as well. There is an overwhelming obsession by Nancy Pelosi in talking about children in every press release since 2020. I mean, we have made parodies of it on this channel. Children going hungry. She says it every 10 seconds. How about adults going hungry? How about single people going hungry? Everyone's going hungry. I don't. The thing that bothers me about it is it's trying to evoke a jugular reaction to the fact that we should only feel empathy when it's a child. I guess that's the best way to say it. We should only feel empathy, or we should only feel emotional if a child's hungry. But if an adult's hungry, who cares? Tough luck. You eat too much. It's children going hungry. How about everyone going hungry? How about everyone? I don't know why she has to continually say children going hungry. It smells ageist when you look at the legislation that's behind it. Because ultimately there's a lot of people going hungry, more than just the children. And I like John's comment. It's discrimination of single people. Not having children has gone against us. Dan Scott, Marion, come on, House, take a vote today, please. They'll take the vote about February 22nd. Valerie Woods, what about the $200 Social Security increase? They have not. It's not in there. Robert Perez, we've been to the finish line so many times and never got over it. I'm getting to sit and, you have gotten over it. We got over it in December with the second stimulus. That was the push of this channel. We got that stimulus check in there. John Villar, they always say next week. $1,400 3 months ago would have been great. Now we have to wait. That's a very good comment. The value of the amount of money they're giving, they never talk about the value. And when they do, it's almost comical. And that's sort of like the elephant in the room. You're getting $1,400. Great. It only took you 5,000 months to get it to us. I got it. Maddie, what are they going to do with SSI and SSDI for $200 as they promised? You got to push Elizabeth Warren. Call her up. Naomi Hodge. We'll see what they've been waiting on for. David DeSola. So I could leave this country and go where they're giving out their own stimulus checks every month. Joseph. Are they not taking the SSI? Denise, not happy Biden left out SSI. That was one of his promises, plus the $2,000. He promised that on top of the $1,400. Wow, Denise got it completely correct. Let's read Denise's comment again. 1,500 people in the room and 700 likes. Thank you. With 33 minutes on the clock. Let's get to 2,000 in the room and 1,000 likes. Keep on hitting that like button. I love Denise's comment. Not happy with President Biden. He left out Social Security. That was one of his promises. Plus the $2,000, and he promised that on top of the $1,400. Kimberly Walter, what about the SSI, 200 people, $200 a month? Alice, when are they going to vote on it? House will vote on no later than February 22nd. Yuri, when are they going to give multiple stimulus checks? They're never going to give multiple stimulus checks for non-parents at the moment. Joyce, I'm surprised anything's getting done with the impeachment going on. Yeah, they have been good on multitasking. So that I do applaud them for that. Steve Blount, remember Biden said follow the science, so open the schools like the science says. I love that comment. Oh my God, Steve Blount. Follow the science, so open the schools like the science says. Yeah, open the schools. I just want to say you're wacko. I'm sorry, you're wacko. The governor of California calls you wacko. I'm not gonna call you wacko. Not the president of the United States. I'm not calling him wacko. I'm calling the head of the CDC. You're wacko. Uh, honey, no one's gonna listen to you. We are not opening. No teacher is going to rush into school without a vaccination. And if you want us to rush back into school, then give us the darn vaccination doses. It's insane. If you don't know what I'm referring to, the head of the CDC last Friday said it's safe to go back to school without vaccinations. So I urge everyone to go back into school and start teaching with no vaccinations as a teacher. You're fine. Well, that's not what science says. Pam, when is the SSI going to happen? Hasn't happened yet. Don Zito, don't tell Sirloin about the McChicken. He make you jealous. I love that. Don't tell Sirloin that they're doing the McChicken. Yeah. Diane, us seniors are busted. Oh, I love Diane's comment. Us seniors have busted our butts and paid our taxes all our lives, and we're getting writ off here. But I'm grateful for what I get. Wow, that's a very nice comment. So Diane says us seniors have busted our butts for years, and we're not getting what's paid. So why does it take another week and a half to get a vote? Ron Dolan. Not quite clear. They put that in the bill. Maybe they put that in the bill on purpose, but they put that in the bill that the vote on of it is February 22nd, no later than then. But that's where you are at the 36-minute mark. The big news, which was really great news, before I went into all the ageist issues, is that Ron Wyden, who is the Democrat out of Oregon, says, you know what? I'm going to do a couple things. I'm going to push for $600 of FPUC, number one. Number two, I'm going to push that the bill says FPUC does not expire at a date. Rather, it's tied to economic conditions, and the economic conditions do not approve. The FPUC will not expire, because I don't want to keep on coming back and doing stimulus check bills every 10 seconds. I love that. Number three, he says the Senate is ground zero, is the playing field to make changes to the third stimulus package. And President Biden should know that. This is not a place where you could just give us a bill and say, go sign it. We ain't doing that in the Senate. So when you give us the bill, we're going to make modifications. This is huge, great news. So you're getting multiple stimulus checks of $3,600 or $3,000 if you're a parent with children. You're getting a $1,400 stimulus check every viewer of this channel, even if you're on FPUC. But now the bill provisions could go higher. Tag Bernie Sanders with this video today and Josh Hawley, if you wish or not wish, and also Elizabeth Warren. Tag them to say, hey, what happened to the adult dependents $3,200 stimulus check? It needs to be in there. And the $2,000 on top of the $1,400, tag Warnock and Ossoff saying, where the world is that $2,000 stimulus check you promised us? Next, tag Wyden, that is Wyden, and praise him for his $600 FPUC position, and get behind them. Call them up. And finally tag Elizabeth Warren and say, listen, come on, Senator Warren, put that SSI $200 a month in there from now to December. It does not cost a lot of money. The $200 from now to December is not a big ticket item. It really is not. Put it in there. Get it in there, and let's take care of seniors. And finally, if you're watching and you're a single individual and you worked at something during the pandemic and you're waiting for that $1,500 earned income tax credit, get on social media and push as well. Thank you for all the nice comments. I hope you join me on Afternoons LA8. I'll be back here at 3:30 Pacific Standard Time. That's 6:30 Eastern Standard Time for Afternoons LA8. It's a triple show. First, check. Then third, stimulus. About 15 minutes thereafter. And then what the chuck shortly thereafter. 3 videos back to back. Check at 3:30. Then minutes after that will be third stimulus. And then after that will be what the chuck. Someone just said that on the screen that Trump was acquitted. I'm just happy if that whole proceeding is over because it has taken stimulus off of front page. So I am happy once economic issues and stimulus and financial issues and Wall Street are back front and center because I love you, you love me, and thank you for all the nice private messages. So if you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Thank you for the super chats, and if you've not become a member, consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, a Calcino VIP. With 940 likes and 1,500 in the room, we've just about made it. Thank you for a good day, and make sure you join me on Afternoons LALATE.